it is what we do. Like for us to actually be able to self-lead ourselves. So like I said, I'll be ending with this, and I hope the next speaker is ready. That self-leadership is all about, yes, self-leadership is all about freedom and restriction. It gives you freedom to life, but many restrictions to many of your impulses. So right about now, I'll be passing on the mic to the next speaker.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Nigeria and the world. My name is Oluwabemisola Hannah Ogumefun, and I am here again. It's been a very long walk to freedom. A long walk to 480 hours. And we're still at 167 hours.
Wow.
We'll make it.
Amen.
We've set the record already.
Yes.
Watch out, world. Nigeria is taking it.
Amen.
Today I'm here to talk about something very important at this time and age. I'm here to help us reflect on one of our most defining challenges that we're facing right now. A lot of speakers have spoken, a lot of speeches have been sent out, a lot of thought processes have been done. How do we build true substance, depth, meaningful value in an age where everything begs for our attention, yet almost nothing builds us? How? How do we do it? We live in a world where distraction is the new normal. Our phone screams every second like impatient toddlers. Our notifications sounding all day like alarm bells. And information overload is relentlessly what we face now. Hence, I will be speaking on building substance in an age of distraction. We've talked about AI, we've talked about social media, we've talked about... There was a time when there was no internet. A speaker was speaking earlier and she spoke about her phone not being smart. And someone said, eh? Yes. There were times when our phones were not smart. They were buttons. They were practically like calculator. Yes. If your phone even has game, you are using a big phone. Yes, at that time. If your phone has a game, you are using a big phone. So there were times like that. And we've evolved over the years, over the decades. And we're here at the era of AI. T.S. Eliot says something. He says, where is the wisdom where we have lost knowledge? And where is the knowledge we have lost in information? Where are they? Where is the wisdom that we have lost in knowledge, and where is the knowledge that we have lost in information? The world is currently drowning in information. There is, you hear companies talk about big data. They're generating data every second. We talk about big data. Every little cheese, every little hello is data. So we live in an era that there is a lot of information. The world is drowning in information, yet starving in wisdom. We live in a world right now where people are obsessed with appearances but rarely stop to reflect. We live in a time where everyone is busy. Everyone has something to do at a particular point in time. Everyone is busy. But only few are building something meaningful. You know, one of my colleagues said something some time ago. He said, this one that they'll tell you, come and do this, you say you're busy, come and do that, you're busy, come and do this, you're busy. Then when you now break down and the doctor tells you to bring money, you still say you don't have money. So what have you been busy doing? So we live in an era where everyone is busy, but only few are building something meaningful. And I ask, if everything is loud, how do we build something that lasts? Even in an era where everything is loud. In a world where attention is currency, how do we cultivate depth? How? In a world where speed is glorified, how do we maintain balance? And that is why at this time, at this age, at this minute, it is really important for us to discuss about how to build substance in this age of distraction that we find ourselves in. First, let's try to understand the age of distraction that we find ourselves in. So first is the digital storm. Tech ethicist Tristan Harris says, if you're not paying for a product, then you are the product. I'll take that again. If you are not paying for a product, then you are the product. The previous speaker spoke about how people wake up in the morning and the very first thing they take is their phone and they begin to scroll and scroll, and before you know it, even before they get off the bed, like 1 hour is gone on something that is not productive. Gone. I was having a conversation with someone yesterday and we're talking about how I don't understand how people tend to like spend their productive time watching and following people who are building their lives, but you're not doing the same for yourself. You know everything going on in the life of every celebrity. You know the latest clothes in the market. You know the latest style. You know the latest song. You know the latest this. You know the latest that. I remember when I was little, my mom would say something. So when the other speaker spoke about her mom not watching TV, I quite understood, because those days, when we tell my mom, "Mom, come and watch TV," sit down, come and watch TV, my mom would say, you are watching TV, you are watching the people building their lives, but you are not building your own. You know, she would always say that thing. Initially, it was not entering, but one day it actually sank in. I was like, wait, oh, it's true. These are actors and actresses that will be paid for the roles they are playing. You're watching football, they will, whether they lose or they win, they will be paid. But what are you doing in that time? How much are you getting? My mom will say, when they are done, how much will they give you from the money they are being paid? So it began to sink in, and over the years, I began to work on it. And now, Because of that, I hardly go on social media just to doom scroll. If I'm going to be on social media, I'm looking for something. And I've cultivated the habit of getting information, important information from social media. A lot. My social media is for information search. I might be on Facebook, but I don't even know what is going on Facebook, because I'm not there to doom scroll. I'm there to get. That's where I get my information for scholarship days. Most of the trainings I do, I get them from social media. Most of the connections I get them from social media. But I might not know what is going on. I might not really know what is going on. I feel privileged that I stand on this podium as we cross from day 6 to day 7. It is a privilege that I do not take for granted. The digital storm. Another one is the illusion of connection. A speaker once spoke about how everyone is in the room saying, oh, we are coming together for a get-together. We are getting together, but we are not together. Simply because even though we sit together at the table for a get-together, for a catch-up, everyone is on their phone. You are closer to the people that are away from you, and you're farther from the people that are closer to you. We live in an age where before you eat, you have to take the snapshot of it. People don't go on holidays just to enjoy the holiday. They go on holiday for people to know they went there. We live in a time where people don't live experiences anymore. In fact, the people that are going to watch the experiences on social media enjoy the experiences more than them. Because in the process of the experience, they are not taking it in, but they are just capturing the moment for people that will see. The illusion of connection. That's the age we find ourselves now. Everything we do for likes, for comments, for shares, not for the experience of it. Understanding the age of distraction. Next one is the rise of performance culture. Theodore Roosevelt said comparison is a thief of joy. Nowadays we find ourselves, we've all become performers. We have all become performers. Everybody's living fake life. You hear things like fake it till you make it. Someone that has not eaten since morning will come on social media and act like they've eaten one delicacy, and you that maybe all you had was a plate of rice and beans, you start questioning God when, not knowing that you are even better than them. Performance culture. I spoke about something like that when I was talking about how parents compare their children. Most parents, or let me say most of us, we put pressure on ourselves, on people around us, just because, not only because, or should I say not solely because we want to succeed personally, or we want the person to succeed, but because we want to show it to the world that see what I have gained, see what I have gotten, see the level I am at. That's what we want, and that's why we are putting that pressure on ourselves. And that's why when things don't go our way, the first thing people say to themselves is, what will people say? You now start hearing things like my village people. Because even from the onset, we've only been performing. We only want that thing to succeed so we can brag to the village people. And there's a saying that I love so much. It says, I have a family to feed, not a community to impress. I say that a lot. Even to my children, sometimes when they say, Mom, why don't we do this? I say, I have a family to feed, not a community to impress. Because you are impressing people who don't even care. Because after seeing it, after putting the like, they move on to their lives. And they can't even remember what they clicked like on anymore. The rise of performance culture. Let's see some global examples of this distraction. In the US, people now, basically all their lives are social media. All their lives are just social media. Everything they do, it has to be on Facebook, it has to be this, it has to be that. The same thing we are facing in Nigeria. So it's not something that is only Nigeria, no. Same thing in Japan. We see youth are now, they're now kind of, they're no more expressive as they should. Everyone is now into their shells, because when I post something online and people don't put as many likes as possible, I feel that they don't like me, and it begins to affect us. You find the same thing happening in Europe, in Canada, even in Nigeria, in Africa where we are. It's like an epidemic. In fact, it's a pandemic, because it's all around the world. What are the consequences of this distraction that we are going through in this generation? The first one is shallow thinking. This distraction leads to shallow thinking. People don't think critically anymore. They don't think deep. They now have reactive living instead of intentional living. People don't live intentionally. They don't live. There's this saying that most people are barely surviving and not living. They're just breathing. They're just breathing. They're not actually living. Because it's always like, what will people think? What will they say? You're always thinking about what the next person is saying. You're always thinking about what social media would say. You're always thinking about this, about that. You're always thinking about the trend online. Many people are pushing themselves to the extreme simply because of the trend they are following. Oh, this is how it should be. Oh, this is how it should be. Oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. Oh, that is how. We are just reacting instead of being intentional about how we live our lives. And as a result of that, a lot of people have lost their identity. We have loss of identity. A lot of people have lost their identity. They don't know who they are anymore. If the world says, oh, this is what we do now, yes, that's what we are doing. Tomorrow when the trend changes, you hear, oh, that's not in trend anymore. There's some people, if they don't use designer shoes, designer wears, they don't feel important. What they wear is what is important to them. I saw was it online yesterday where someone wrote that iPhone has become a measure of class and not just a normal gadget. And I actually see that a lot. You have people who believe that if you're using Android, you are poor. Meanwhile, the Android you're using could be much more expensive than even the iPhone they are using. But as long as you're not using iPhone, you are poor. Where is that coming from? Where is that coming from? And because of that, you see them begin to put pressure on themselves. If peradventure they're using Android, they begin to go any length just to switch from the Android to iPhone. And once they switch to iPhone, they want to use the latest iPhone 17 Pro Max. They don't mind doing anything to get it, as long as they get it. That's like their lifelong goal. And once 17 shifts to 18, they want to upgrade from 17 to 18 in any available way, whether right or wrong. Loss of identity. We have forgotten who we are. We don't even know what we stand for anymore. And there's a saying that if you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything. Loss of identity. Another one is reduced productivity. In this time and age, multitasking has been glorified. But then, research by the Stanford University showed that multitasking has accounted for up to less than 40% productivity. It reduces productivity by 40%. Multitasking. It's like being a jack of all trades and master of none. You know, sometimes I don't entirely condemn multitasking, because at times it might be important. I am a woman, and I know that especially as an African woman, you might be required to multitask, where you're cooking, you're nursing a baby, you're cleaning, and your mind has to be there. You have to know the exact time to enter the kitchen before the food starts getting burnt. You have to know the exact time to attend to your baby. You have to know the exact time to do this, the exact time to do that. So you hear things like women are wired to multitask. Okay, yes. But if we really want to tell ourselves the truth, in all those things that we multitask in, yes, we get them done. But if we had not multitasked, the result we get from the multitasking on each of the chores or each of the activities that we multitask on, and the result we will get if we don't multitask, which one do you think will be higher? The one without multitasking. And that is it. So multitasking really should not be something that we should glorify. It should only happen when we cannot avoid it. It should not be our daily life. You're multitasking here, you're multitasking there, you're multitasking here, you're multitasking there. So it shouldn't be. It reduces productivity. You see some people, they're working, yes, but they're on their phone, scrolling Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. I said, are you listening? No, I can hear you. Go on, I can hear you. But they are divided. If you ask them why, they say, don't worry, I can multitask. I multitask very well, don't worry. I can hear you perfectly. Reduced productivity because of the kind of distraction we find in our age and time. Another one is emotional fragility. People have become emotionally fragile. They have become emotionally fragile because distraction weakens resistance and resilience. That's just it. Weakens resilience. Now, you turn to Facebook, you see someone your age doing so well. You leave Facebook, maybe you're still trying to like tell yourself, don't worry, everything will be fine, don't worry. And then you enter Instagram, you see another person younger than you doing so well, or even your age mates, or someone you just finished school together with. You leave Instagram, you enter TikTok, another person. And then you leave TikTok, and everywhere you're seeing things that keep putting you down. After some time, if you keep dining on it, just like the previous speaker said, that our emotions are being formed by our environment. And when we say environment, it's not just the physical environment. Social media too is part of our environment. Television too is part of our environment. So when you keep dwelling on these things and you keep dining on them, you keep taking them in, day out, day in, day out. That's how people's resolve not to go into negative acts get broken. And you see someone that has been that they've been trying to lure into probably, let's say, prostitution or drug trafficking or fraud, and you just one day say, let me just, even if it is once, let me just do. And from once, when they see the amount of money they can cash out that they've not been getting, the kind of life they can get, from once they continue, and they get to a place where they cannot return. Emotional fragility. That's one of the things these distractions do to us. Decline in meaningful relationship is another one. Decline in meaningful relationship because of the kind of distractions we all have. You see, everyone has a gadget. The father is on the laptop, probably yes, office work. Mother is on tablet, trying to push our business to social media. The brother is on laptop gaming. The sister is on TikTok dancing. This one is doing this, that one is doing that. Everybody's on a gadget. And before you know it, we are all living in the house, but we are no more a family but flatmates. Because relationship requires presence, and presence requires attention, and attention requires discipline. We have to be intentional about giving our attention. I remember when I wanted to teach my first son about listening. You be talking to him, you be pressing his phone, and like, I'm talking to you. Oh, mommy, I can hear you. It's okay. I'll keep my mouth shut. It won't pain him because it's not something so important to him at that point. Maybe it could be an information you're just giving him that it's not something that he's in dire need of. No problem. I'll wait for him quietly until the day he needs a dire information from me. And he comes, he say, mommy, this and that. Normally they know that when you're talking to me, I will leave whatever I'm doing and I'll focus on you, listen to you. So when he starts talking, I'll pick up my phone and start pressing, or I pick my computer and start pressing. Mama, I'm talking to. I said, I'm listening to. I said, no. Actually, you're not responding the way you usually respond. I said, no, I'm also listening. One day he now started laughing, saying, now I get it. I will not do that again. I said, no, you don't get it yet. I said, you need to build listening skills. That's one major skill that we have lost in this generation due to the distraction. People only hear, they don't listen. They only hear, but they don't listen. They only look, but they don't actually see. Because everyone is distracted. We are not present. Our bodies might be here, but our minds are divided. One is on Facebook, one is on Twitter, one is on Instagram, one is on TikTok, another is on YouTube. But we are here. But our minds are in various places. That's the distraction that we're talking about. What does it mean to build substance? What does it mean to build substance? Because we really need to learn to build substance in this age of distraction. First, we must understand substance is depth. Substance is depth. Substance is not big phone, beautiful clothes, millions of followers. No. That's not substance. That's not the depth we're talking about. How many of our friendships can we actually vouch for? How many? Now you see, when you post something online, for example, you see like 5,000 people tell you congratulations, or they even like it. Or let's use birthday for example. When it's your birthday, a lot of people will send happy birthday to you online. But how many of these people actually call in to say happy birthday? How many of these people actually go the extra mile to, let's say, even come to you to celebrate the birthday? Because there are times that maybe even on your birthday you will have a bad day. There are times like that, and you're going to feel that pain more because it's actually your birthday, and you know that birthday is supposed to be the best day of the entire year, at least so far. But then something will now happen and you feel the pain twice. But then you just suddenly get home and you open your door and yes, surprise! Even if it is just one small cake, all the pain of the day disappears. Even if they don't come with a gift, even if they are there to just eat your food, where is it? Where is the food? Where is the food? Where is it? You know, the fact that they came around alone is enough. Substance is depth. But how many of us can boast of those kind of connection today? These deep connections are fizzled into the thin air, hanging online via social media. Substance is depth. Substance is character. Substance is character. That's another one we need to understand. It is integrity. That is the ability to do things even when no one is seeing you. Doing the right thing even when no one is seeing you. It is consistency. Doing what you need to do even when no one is applauding you. Substance is character. And when I talk about character, I'm talking about integrity. I'm talking about consistency. John Wooden says character is what you are, and reputation is what others think you are. There are some people think, this person is a better person. It's a very good person. But deep down, you yourself, you know. You know yourself. You know yourself. There's a thought that dropped in my heart some time ago. It says, can you wish yourself upon yourself? There are some people, they cannot wish themselves upon themselves. You cannot. Because you know, despite the good reputation you might have out there, you know that all those things is just a veneer. You cannot actually wish yourself upon yourself. Substance is character. Substance is purpose. And when I say purpose, it's not just what you do, it's why you exist. Do you know why you exist? Do you know why you're here? Do you know why you are in Nigeria? Do you know why you are in Lagos? There are times when we get to work in a place just for a particular purpose. There are times when we get to own something just for a particular purpose. I remember in one of my speeches, I talked about going through some things at some point in my life, and I had to go back to God to ask him, why am I going through this? Because before now, you've taken me through it, and from what I've learned with the work with you, I know that I'm not supposed to go through one thing more than once. as long as I pick my lesson and I've learnt it. But why will I pick my lesson the first time and I'm still going through it again? And he said, I was like, is it that I didn't pick my lesson? Or is it that you think that I did not pick my lesson enough or what for you to take me through it again? And he said something about, he said, no, I don't think you did not pick your lesson. In fact, I am very sure that you picked your lesson. So I said, if I picked my lesson, why am I going through it again? And he said something. He said, I'm taking you through this again because of the people I am sending to you. I'm equipping you for them. It was so painful, but I learned the purpose from there. That, okay, so this is why I am going through this. This is why this is happening. There is a purpose. No manufacturer will create anything without a purpose. For example, if I do not know the purpose of this mic, I would say if I speak to it and it does not amplify my voice, then it has not done its work. But that's not the purpose of it. Its purpose is not for it to amplify my voice. Even though it looks like a mic, its purpose is to pass on the baton, to pass on the mic to the next speaker. That is its purpose. So if I use this mic to amplify my voice and it refuses to amplify my voice, and I say, oh, because it is not amplifying my voice, then it is not working. The mic has not failed. It is just me that have failed to identify its purpose. And that's what a lot of us are doing today. We have failed to identify our purpose. And I remember saying in one of my speeches, I said, if you think the purpose why you're put in this world is just for you to go to school, get a good job, get married, have lovely kids, be rich, that is all, then you've not discovered your purpose. Because your purpose is something that has to be bigger than you. If your purpose is not bigger than you, then you've actually not discovered it. So you need to know why you exist. Substance is competence. Substance is competence. Your skills, your mastery in the things you do, the excellence at which you carry out the things that you need to do. Substance is competence. It's not popularity. It's not about people seeing you. No. There are so many people these days, in this time and age, when you tell them come and do this, the first question they ask you is, how much are they going to pay me? What am I going to gain from it? That's not substance. You're not building substance. That's not how to build substance. There's something I learned some years back. It says when you want to get to a level whereby you begin to command not just the respect of people now, but you want to get to the level whereby you want to command the respect of people, and then you want people to pay you heavily for what you're doing. You have to first create a platform for yourself. And how do you create a platform for yourself? Work it out under people. Give out free services. It's not everything that you will ask for money for. It's not everything. You want to be, probably you're a social media manager, and you're just starting out. Nobody knows you yet. You're either good at your job or you're still trying to become strong. Meet people. Oh, I'm a social media manager. Can I manage your social media for free? Manage it for free and put it in your portfolio. People who will pay for it will see what you've done with that one. You don't need to tell them I did not collect money. What they are seeing is that you did it. They are not seeing whether you collected money or not. From there, they will pay you. Oh, please, I would like you to manage my social media too. How much do you charge? Then you can now charge. So it's not, everything is not about money. That's one of the things that a lot of people are doing to douse their competence. Because the more you do something, the better you become at it. But if you keep saying, oh, how much are they going to pay me? How much am I going to get from it? How much are this one? You base your value on money. Yoruba will say owó tó ní ìyá àbùkù ti kan. Any money or any amount of money that has, once money has an amount, then it becomes useless. Because no matter how big it is, one day if you start saving, you will meet up. The value has reduced. The value of 1 million naira 10 years ago is not the same value right now.
Yes.
So what are we talking about? Competence is not popularity. It's the excellence at which you carry out the things you do. There are some people, they don't do what they need to do except people are seeing them. When you hear, there's camera in the room, that's when they get serious. Or maybe the boss is coming, they sit right and they start typing away on the computer even when they are not doing anything. They form seriousness. That should not be it. That's eye service. That's not excellence. Excellence is you doing the right thing even when no one is around. Integrity. Doing things as if it's yours. Don't say after all it's not mine. If you get sports, that's the owner's business. No, treat it like it's yours. Because the way you treat the things that belong to others, that's the way you will treat yours too. That's excellence. That is excellence. Substance is contribution. Substance is contribution. What are you doing to help the world? Or let me bring it down. Let me bring it down a bit. What are you doing to help your community? And don't let us go to high ranking yet. What are you doing to help your community? What are you doing to help your society? It's not just about complaining. Oh, this place is like this. Oh, that one is like that. Oh, this one. Oh, that one. You know how to complain. But when they ask you, of all these complaints, which solution have you preferred? None. And then you say government. Government should be the one to prefer all. The truth of the matter is government cannot prefer all solutions. Even in working economies, government is not the one doing everything. Even in working economies, the only thing is that the government makes it easier for other parastatals, individuals, corporate bodies to be able to easily do what they need to do. But they are not the ones doing everything. After you're gone, what are you leaving for the world? What footprints are you leaving? Or is it noise that you're just leaving? When your pictures are off the walls, when your names, or when your name is no more mentioned, what do people say about you? There are people we still learn about today, even in schools, that have died a long time ago, not even in this century. Somewhere you will see some were born in 1880 something, and we are still learning about them. And sometimes I wonder, sometimes I ask my students, why do you think, despite the fact that this person lived many years ago, centuries ago, why are we still learning about them? And they begin to pick out the major things they did, the very important things they did that made us to still talk about them today. That is it. Substance is contribution. It is contribution. Now let's look at practical ways to build substance in a distracted world. Because now we've talked about the fact that yes, we live in an age of distraction. We've looked at the various areas where we are distracted. We've looked at what substance is. Now, how do we build substance? The very first way to build substance is master your attention. Master your attention. Your attention is your most valuable asset. And where your attention goes, that's where your life follows. Little wonder why the Bible says, guide your heart with all diligence, for out of it comes all the issues of life. Where your attention goes, that's where your life follows. And that's why you have to master your attention. And how do you master your attention? One of the ways to master your attention is through digital fasting. And when we talk about digital fasting, you can tell yourself, for 30 minutes or 1 hour or so number of minutes or hours a day, I am not going to use my phone. Drop that phone. Just drop the phone. There's some people we cannot live without our phones. Now let's take out the fact, because we live in a digital world. Yes, I understand that. Yes, businesses, you run businesses on the phone. I run businesses on my phone too, and because of that, I personally too cannot do without my phone, because clients will call. I have to respond. Yes, I understand. But if we are not being intentional, I remember once telling one of my sisters that used to do remote jobs, and because she was working remotely, she practically worked round the clock. In the morning, she's on the system. Afternoon, evening, night. So I had to tell her something. I said, I understand it's remote. And because it is remote, it's very easy to let go. Because you feel you're just home. Oh, a message comes in. Oh, I said you have to be intentional. Structure it like a 9 to 5. Tell yourself, you've been doing it for some time, so you know the busy hours. Structure your schedule around the busy hours, and the less busy hours, go off. Because when you're working 9 to 5, especially for most of those jobs that you cannot take home, once you leave the work, will you take the job home? Anything that happens after that time, you continue the following day. So you have to be very intentional about treating this remote job the same way. If not, you will keep breaking down, because she kept breaking down. So if not, you will keep breaking down. And you see, the same thing applies to 9 to 5. Most people that do 9 to 5 too, they would, after the 9 to 5, they're closing at 5, they're still taking work home. They get home, they're eating, and they're working. And before you know it, they've worked from 5, 3 o'clock, they're still working. And then they'll get to work by 9 again, and the cycle continues. If you're not intentional, the same thing applies to when you're running business on your phone. If you're not intentional about, at this time to this time, I'm not going, even if it is $1 billion business, I am not attending to it. But there's something I want you to understand. The universe responds to your principles. I don't know if anyone has noticed it. When you have a principle that, oh, I won't do this, I won't do this. Maybe I'm not going to eat once it's 7 o'clock at night. When you just start it, it is at 7 o'clock they will bring you amazing delicacy. When you just begin, at 7 dots, that's when they will bring you, maybe you love chicken a lot, they will bring you full chicken, roasted chicken, and you'll be like, what is going on? What kind of temptation is this? But when you're able to overcome the temptation for like maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, months, before, you will notice that nothing will come around at 7 o'clock again. Nothing. If any food or anything needs to come, it will come before 7. And it applies to many other things that we do. The universe aligns with your principles. So don't say, oh, if I begin to go off my phone for 30 minutes now or for 1 hour now, what if that business I've been looking for, what if that is when it comes in and that client is not patient? If she sends me the message and I don't respond immediately, she will just go to another person. If you keep doing it, you will notice that that message will not drop at that time. Even if she wants to send it at that time, network will not go. It will now drop at the time when you are back to your phone. The universe aligns to your principles. So go digital fasting. Be intentional about it. Another way you can master your attention is by telling yourself no phone for the first hour of the day. You could do that. I know this one is one thing I've not been able to do, because just like one speaker said that when she wakes up, the first thing she goes for is her phone. That's what I do too. Not for social media anyways, but I prefer to read my Bible on my phone than to read the physical Bible. Sometimes I want to hear it as I read, so that anyone I don't catch with my eyes, my ears will catch, and anyone my ears don't catch, my eyes will catch. I don't just want to read. So the very first thing I go for when I wake up is my phone. But if you're the kind of person that there are some people, they prefer to, if they want to maybe read their Bible or they want to read any book, some people like to read books in the morning because that's when their brains are calm. Anything you want to do and you're not the kind of person like me that likes the digital version, by all means, go off your phone for the first hour in the day. Turn off non-essential notifications. It's not every time your phone rings that you have to go pick it. Thank God for the advancement of technology. There are ways you can set your phones now that you know the notifications you have to take and you know the ones that you don't have to take. For example, there was a time I had to change the notifications on my phone. If it's a group message, there's a way it will sound. If it's an individual message, there's a way it will sound. If it is money, there's a way it will sound. So even if I don't want to attend to anything, once it sounds and it is money sound, sorry, I'll pick my phone. But every other one, I'm like, okay, wait. Credit me, debit care. It will sound, don't worry. You know, technology has advanced. Turn off non-essential notifications. It's not every notification that you should know. Jay-Z just went live. How does it add to you? It might be something you want to watch during your free time, yes. We're not saying we should now become too serious that we don't even find the time to unwind. No, that's not the essence of this. Well, the essence of this is for us not to lose track of our own life because we're following other people's lives. So turn off non-essential notifications on your phone. Another one is use your phone. Don't let it use you. There are some people, it's their phone that is using them. They are not the ones using the phone. It is their phone that is using them. So by the time you wake up in the morning, you've not taken your bath, you've not done anything, you're just there on the bed and you're doom scrolling from one social media to another social media, and you keep going and going like that. You keep going and going like that. You know, you keep moving. Before you know it, you woke up at 7, 8, you are still scrolling. 9, you are still scrolling. 10, scrolling. 11, 12, you now remember that wait, I have not eaten today. You got up. Maybe still on your phone, you ordered for food. They brought the food. You are there, you collected the food, and you're still scrolling. At the end of the day, you ask yourself, that is even if you ask yourself, what have you actually achieved? So if somebody should ask you, what did you achieve today? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's one thing I tell myself. One of the ways I try to, I'm a lover of technology. I love technology so much. But one of the ways I have tried to curtail myself is I tell myself, for whatever I buy, I don't mind. I can use any amount to buy technology. But one thing I tell myself is, for whatever I buy, that thing I bought must make its money back. So before I buy it, I will ask myself, how is it going to make its money back? It must make its money back. And so far I can say my laptop has made its money back. More than the amount I bought it. In fact, more than times 3 of it. It has made it back. My phone, it has made its money back. If I'm going to buy data, that data must make its money back. So if I say, oh, I cannot do without having data on my phone. Yes, I cannot do without having data on my phone, because that data has to make its money back. But if I cannot do without having data on my phone because I want to watch TikTok. I want to watch some celebrities dancing or fighting. Some people, their own is celebrity fights. They want to know what this celebrity is saying to this celebrity. Please, how much are they paying you after that? How much are they paying you? Use your phone. Don't let your phone use you. Another one is cultivate deep work. Cultivate deep work. And when I talk about deep work, I'm talking about the ability to be able to focus on tasks that are cognitively demanding without any distraction. That's deep work. Tasks that require you to use your brain power. They are cognitively demanding without any distraction. No distraction from anywhere. You focus. If you need to think critically, you think critically. If you need to think creatively, you think creatively. If you need, yesterday I was talking about the 6 thinking hats. So if you go from one hat to the other, from one hat to the other. If you want to use your problem, there are so many problem solving steps. If you want to use your problem solving skills to sort something, you tell yourself 2 hours I want to work on this, and 2 hours you work on it. Even if you don't finish, at the end of those 2 hours you've been able to do a substantial amount of work. That is deep work. That's deep work. And how do you cultivate deep work? Work in blocks of 40 to 90 minutes with no interruptions. If you know your phone would interrupt you, turn it off or put it on silence or something. There was a speaker that came here to speak the other day that talked about AI, making money with AI, and he said something. He said, why do you think I'm able to stand here to talk? Because my phone is turned off. That is his own way of cultivating deep work. He knows that for him to be able to focus and do what he needed to do at that time, he cannot afford to have his phone turned on. So he turned it off. Work with no interruption. Work with no interruption. Whatever it is that is going to interrupt your work, just take it off. Try to, if it's the TV sound, turn it off. If it's your phone notification, sometimes, thank God our phones even have do not disturb. Put it on do not disturb. 2 hours, or maybe even if it is 30 minutes you just want to work, do not disturb. If you don't want to turn it off entirely, probably because, like, sometimes for example, if I want to work, I might need my phone for internet, and I'm like, okay, or I need my phone to do some research, and I can't afford to turn it off at that time because I need to use it. Do not disturb. No notification will come in. You do your work and nothing is disturbing you. Have a dedicated workspace for focus. You know, there was a time I used to have what do they call it? Is it something else is coming to my head and that's not the right one? I couldn't sleep at night. What's that word again? Insomnia. Thank you. Insomnia. Thank you so much. Amnesia was coming to my head. Amnesia at my age, Libo. God forbid. You know, I used to have insomnia, and it was so bad that so many times I would go to work in the morning, come back at night. By the time I'm going to work the following day, I've not slept. I've not closed my eyes. I'll go to work following day, come back again. I'm going to work on Wednesday. I've not closed my eyes. And it was really weighing me down, because this is me. I love to sleep. If I'm not working, I'm sleeping. So how can I not sleep? How can somebody like me suffer insomnia? How? Error. So I began to think, what could be the issue? I've gone to the doctors, nothing was working. Put me on pills. After the pills were done, I'm back. So I began to ask myself, what could be the issue? What could be the problem? Then I discovered that You know, just our brain is just like the AI of today, where whatever you program into it, that's how the brain works. I work a lot on my bed, so my brain registered my bed as a place of work. So whenever I'm on that bed, and I work a lot at night, I jokingly say that if I were to be an animal, that I'm going to if I were to be an animal, I'm going to be what do they call these animals now? A night owl. Maybe or a bat. Good. Because I don't sleep at night. I work best at night. My eyes are open, my brains are working. But once it's 5 in the morning, once I begin to feel weak, I know it's 5. That's when I want to sleep. That's when I want to sleep. So when I now discovered, okay, so this is the programming I had given to my brain. But then I also do 9 to 5. So I had to reprogram myself from not sleeping at night. So on days when I know I'm going to work and I go to work very early, my people say, Bojo Jimmy, when you wake me up. You know, very early in the morning. I resume at 7. So mine is not even 9 to 5. Those people doing 9 to 5, they are enjoying. I resume at 7, so I have to be at work before 7. Which means I have to leave my house latest 6. So I have to tell myself, you're going to work early tomorrow morning, so you have to sleep early. So because of that, I begin to feel drowsy and sleepy around 7:38. If I don't sleep at that time, once it is 8:30, if I have not slept, I have entered my zone of no sleep. So I noticed the trend. I began to follow it. Then all of a sudden that trend stopped working, and I was wondering what's going on. 7:30, my eyes are open. 8, my eyes are open. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, and I'm supposed to wake at 3:30, 4:30 thereabout. 3 o'clock I'm awake. Then I began to check what went wrong, because I walk on my bed. So I stopped walking on my bed. Whenever I want to walk, I move to the table. It might not be comfortable for me, I will make it comfortable and sit there. Once I'm coming to my bed, no matter the temptation, you know, after moving my work to the table, then you now see the temptation of did anybody send me a message? So you're on the bed and then you're checking, is there any message I need to attend to, any email, any. Now you're not more using the laptop, you're not using phone, but the brain is still taking it that okay, she's still alert. It wasn't working. Then I went back again. You know, I like to do meeting that I call me, myself, and I'll call the three all of me into the meeting. What's going on? So in the meeting I was like, wait, yes, no more laptops, but you are still checking, you're still using your phone to check your emails, to check your WhatsApp. Is there any message you need to respond to? So I don't like keeping my phone too close to me, because when I wake up, remember I said when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I reach for is my phone. So I'll keep it not too far from me, but when I want to sleep, I won't touch it. I'll leave it there. So over time, I discovered it began to work. When it's time to sleep, I find it easy to sleep. Still around the 7:38 time anyways, but at least I began to sleep. It's okay, it works. Yes, I have to sleep early. After all, I will even wake up early, so it works for me. And I began to sleep. Dedicated spaces. There's a program is sent to your brain when you have a dedicated space. The moment you get into that space, your brain receives a signal that it's time to do this work. Some people have dedicated prayer spaces. Once they enter that space, their brain is at alert that yes, prayer mode. The brain switches automatically into prayer mode. You want to work, you have a dedicated space for work, your brain switches automatically into work mode. Have a dedicated space. it will help your focus, and it would even help your input and your output anyways. Another one you can do is do the most important tasks when your mind is fresh. Do the most important tasks when your mind is fresh. And I think this one is the one schools employ today, and that's why you see on the timetable in the morning math, after math English, then maybe after break you now see CRK, religious education, history, you know, all those subjects that have story, verbal, that you don't have to use too much cognitive energy. They will not put it after break because they know that those children, they've closed for the day. So, but when you tell stories, they will still wake up and be happy to tell stories. But call them after break, almost time to go to come and do maths. You'll be talking to yourself. Nothing will enter their head. Not because they are dull, but they've closed for the day. But in the morning when they just come in newly fresh and everything, yes, they are ready to carry out any cognitive activity. The same thing applies to us. Man, know thyself. I used to have a colleague that once it is 12 in the afternoon, she has closed for the day. She begins to, we've not closed, she's still at work, but she's tired. She can't do anything productive. Because of that, she teaches children that also close by 12. By that time, all of them are sleeping, so she too, she's resting. She will tell me, say, I cannot teach primary. Man, know thyself. Yes. That's just it. Know yourself. Know what works for you. Strength. Know your strength. Know your weaknesses. So that you know how to harness it. I mentioned in one of my speeches that there are some weaknesses that you cannot change, but you can harness it. Yes, you cannot change it, but you can harness it. And I saw something that was it Bill Gates that said it. He said, when I want to do a complicated task, I look for a lazy person to give. And why do I give a lazy person? Because a lazy person is not somebody that does not want to work, but it's someone that does not like to stress themselves. So they will look for a simple way to do it. I said, this man has seen me. Because just a few days ago, I just told the world that I am a lazy person. And basically, I am very big on automation. When it comes to anything, in my office, you cannot, when I'm preparing results, and everybody is imputing results, I don't impute my results. Excuse me, I use Excel. And everybody will have to come to my class to pick my own result because they know that all the formulas are in it. Any score changes, I change one, everything is changing by itself. I don't have the time. I'm a math person, yes, but I don't want to flex my mathematics skills here. I don't have that time, please. I would rather flex it by imputing the formulas. Then whenever I enter this course, let this course be turning by themselves. They should be turning on their own. I don't have time. So when I saw it, I said, oh, this man has seen me. Oh, Jesus. But that is it. Know yourself. That is how best you can harness your skills. Don't say, oh, because I am a lazy person and then you leave it there. And so, lazy people are building the world, you know. And lazy people are actually the smartest of people because they don't want to. How will I go from? It's not hard work, it's smart work. Yes. It's not hard work, it's smart work. That's just it, it's smart work. You want to go from ear to ear and then you now turn from here. Why will I have to go and turn when I can simply go like this? Why? Is there any law that says I must go and turn before I get here? Is there any law that says I cannot pass here? Then when we ask that, oh, okay, there's a law that says, okay, we now begin to think again. If there's a law saying we should not go this way, can't we? I want to believe the person that invented plane is a lazy person. Yes. I want to believe it. Sorry, I'm not glorifying my laziness, but I really want to believe, because how can I travel on land?
I want to get there fast.
How can we get there? How can we get there faster? There are people who ask questions. Yeah. Can't we get there faster?
Critical thinkers.
Critical thinkers. Thank you. Why will I spend 8 hours to go from Lagos to Abuja, 12 hours to go from Lagos to Abuja? Can't we go 1 hour? 45 minutes, thank you. Let me use that time to sleep. I love sleep, oh. I love my sleep. If I'm not working, I want to sleep. Instead of spending 12 hours to work, can I spend 2 hours to work and 10 hours to sleep? How can I do that? And I will still get the same yield, not a lesser yield. If possible, a better yield than the person working 12 hours will get. Harness your weaknesses and your strengths, not just your strengths. Harness your weaknesses and your strengths. So do your most important tasks when your mind is fresh. For some people, their minds are fresh at night. Somebody like me. For some people, their minds are fresh early in the morning. For some people, their minds are fresh after they've eaten. Better amala. Afternoon. Just give them the amala and they will do in the afternoon. Then bring anything you want to bring. If you meet them in the morning when they just ate bread and tea, you're on your own. Know yourself. Know yourself. Another way to build substance in this distracted world is building daily reflection routine. Build a daily reflection routine. Substance grows in silence. We build in silence. Build a daily. This world, right now we live in a loud world. So we need to learn to come back. Call a me, myself and I meeting where there is no noise. Because reflection is how your mind digests information. Remember I said earlier, we live in a world where there is so much information. The world is presently drowning in information. But you see most of this information out there, how many people are digesting it? How many people? How many people are digesting it? There are information about anything you want, anything whatsoever on the internet today. Well, how many people are actually accessing this information? And that's why reflection is important. And how do we build daily reflection routine? Number one, journal your thoughts daily. Journal. I'm very bad at journaling anyways. But there was a time I decided I wanted to journal. Men, only on one small point, I wrote like 3 pages. And I was not done. And I discovered that as I was writing, more things began to flow. Some questions that I was not asking myself, I was asking myself. I was like, no wonder they tell us to journal. Man, if only, because it's like you're talking to yourself. You're having deep, intimate talk with yourself. Where you are the speaker and you are the answerer. And you see questions, deep questions begin to flow. You begin to ask yourself, why is this color called black? Why is it not yellow? And you know, and questions that naturally, when you're reading that information, do not drop in your mind. But when you begin to journal, because now you're intentional about it, it begins to settle into your spirit. You know, some people just take it body. You know, we have body, spirit, and soul. Only the body has accepted the information. The body has not even completed processing. You have moved. We move. But when you journal, your body takes the information, accesses it, processes it, passes it to the spirit, passes it to the soul. And at every level, there is a different processing going on that singular information. And you begin to ask yourself, where is this thought coming from? It's not coming from the body. It has gone deeper. That's what reflection does for you. Journal your thoughts daily. Another one is ask yourself, what did I learn today? One of the speakers that spoke yesterday said when he was in school, he would put by his door What have you learned today? What have you done today? And that was one of the things that helped him, that even though he knew he was going astray, he was able to call himself, you are beginning to go astray, come back, come back, come back. You know, ask yourself, what have I learned today? What did I do better today? What could I have done better? If I have to relive today again, what would I do differently? You know, these questions help you to look at yourself not like yourself. You look like yourself at yourself like a different person. So you look at yourself objectively and you think, what could I have done better? Oh, I slapped somebody today. And that thing the person did, even though it was annoying, but that's not how I should have done it. I wasn't supposed to have slapped her. Oh, somebody was talking to me and I ignored the person today. Oh, although the person was very naughty, but ignoring was not the solution. I think I should have. You begin to tell yourself. And before you know it, you discover that you become a better person. As you go on, you become a better person. Because you keep analyzing. You keep reflecting. Every day. Every day. You analyze your thoughts. You analyze your actions. You analyze the things you do. The things you plan to do. Oh, I plan to do 10 things today. How many was I able to do? Oh, I did only 5. Why did I do 5? Oh, I did 5 because I went to gist with this person, and that gist was not really necessary. Even if I wanted to gist, I should have just gisted for 5 minutes instead of the 5 hours that I gisted for. How could I have gisted for 5 hours? For crying out loud. You know, it helps you to see yourself. You're looking at the mirror of reflection. It helps you to see yourself. See what you did better. See what you could have done better. And you become a better person. Spend 10 minutes. Or if you want to spend more, or if you want to spend less, but at least spend some time in quiet meditation. Or if you want to pray. But even that prayer, for those that believe in prayers, even the prayer, there was a skit I saw about the different kinds of people who pray. You see, some will just go, God this and that and that and that and that and that and that, and they, in Jesus' name I pray, amen. They move. Some will go shout on God. So in Nigeria, you see people that will even bully God. I'll see once I say, is it until I die? You know? But after everything, you don't even wait. Because it's a two-way communication. You have spoken, yes. Do you wait to listen? I was telling someone yesterday, I said, prayer is, I said, what God is saying presently is much more important than what he said. So it's not a matter of, God said, okay, yes, God said. But what is he saying right now? Is he still saying the same thing he said, or he has moved? And that's why we need to learn to cultivate the habit of listening, even in the place of prayer. And we need to cultivate the habit of meditating. Meditating. People in the Western world, they try to, they believe in meditation a lot. You see them just sit down, just listening to their breathing. That was when I learned how to meditate. So anyways, you just lie down, you just listen to that, to something, they're saying something like, just think about, don't think, empty your mind, imagine yourself in a beach, the sun is shining, the water is blue, the day is warm, the breeze is blowing against your face, there's a beautiful song, your favorite song playing in the background, you know, and you're just there. You could even do it lying on your bed. You're just lying down. I think when I started my own, because I'm a lazy person, I started my own meditation lying on my bed. I'll just lie down on my bed and I'm doing it, thinking, now you're breathing, think about how your brain is working. And that's actually, you know, one of the things I learned from that is it helps you to build attention to details. Because now you begin to think about how your brain is working.
Yeah.
I'm lying on my bed, I'm thinking, I've never thought about how my brain is working. How does that concern me? But now it's taking my attention to it. I should not think about any other thing. I should just think about my brain. So I'm there thinking, how is it working? And then the next thing, think about how you are breathing. Have we ever had to think about how we breathe? But now you are thinking, am I taking it through my nose or my mouth? Am I holding the breath for too long, or am I releasing it immediately? And then you are thinking, is my stomach rising the way it's supposed to rise, or is the breath getting to my stomach walls? Am I really? Ooh. And you know, it built an attention to details in me. I was like, ooh. It makes you more aware of your surrounding. Build an habit of meditation. Spend some minutes in quiet meditation. It could be before you sleep. It could be before you sleep. It could be when you wake. It could be just in between your day. Bedtime, 10 minutes. Meditate. Meditate. Sometimes take a mental how will I say it? Reflection of, where am I coming from? Where am I right now? Where do I see myself in the next how many years? Just picture yourself. Just do these things. It helps to calm the noise of the world around us, and it makes it clearer, makes your picture, your own vision clearer, because now you've doused the noise. Evaluate your progress weekly. Evaluate your progress. You know, you have probably in the place of meditation, you speaking to yourself, you've been able to come up with short-term goals, medium-term plans, long-term goals. Which one? My short-term goals, which one have I been able to achieve? The things I said I will achieve this week, which one have I been able to achieve? The things I said I will achieve for this month, which one have I been able to do? Which one have I not been able to achieve? Why have I not achieved it? Or why did I do it halfway? What can I do to help myself achieve it completely? Is there anything that needs to be tweaked? Is there anything that needs to be changed? Is there anything I need to improve upon? Evaluate your progress weekly. Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. The unexamined life is not worth living. And that's why we need to keep examining our lives every day, day in, day out. Another way to build substance in a distracted world is to pursue meaning, not appearance. Pursue meaning, not appearance. We find ourselves in a world where most people chase appearance, but there's no meaning behind it. Nothing. Just blank appearance. And that's why eye service is at an all-time high. Ask yourself, what am I building? What I'm building will it remain after social media goes? Because after there was a time there was no social media. Who knows what will be in the next 50 years? Who knows? I remember I once read a book, and a woman, I can't remember her name now, many centuries ago, those days when if you want to make a call to someone, you know, it takes, that's what they call it, takes a community to raise a child. It takes a community to make a call. You know, you want to make a call to someone, as the call is going, somebody will actually go and pick a wire to go and plug it somewhere. Another person will pick it. That was how it was to make a call. In the days, in the early advent of telephone. And then somebody said, imagine somebody saying in that kind of era, that a day would come when we would be able to carry our phones around. And people were like, she's crazy. Nobody believed her. But she envisioned it. Did it happen or not? Now we even have transparent phones. Ah, wow. Seriously. Now we even have transparent phones. So, she's no more alive to see that thing come to pass, but it did happen. Yes, it happened. So, we don't know what will happen in, let's say, 50, 100 years to come, if this world is still there. We don't know what will happen. Very sure, one of the things I'm sure would exist then is flying cars. And maybe by then we'll be able to teleport. Who knows? Yes. Maybe by then we'll be able to teleport. Who knows? Who knows? So we don't know, because the human mind is thinking far and wide. We're thinking about how to solve this problem, how to solve that, how to solve that. Even though as we are solving one, we are creating 10. But at least they want to solve it first. So we don't know. What I'm building, if social media suddenly fizzles out today, will it remain? Ask yourself. Will it remain? When people forget pictures, when they forget even my name, will this thing remain? I don't think anybody remembers how Thomas Edison looks like today. But the fact that we can sit in this room and at this time of the day everywhere is still looking this bright, we have him to thank. So, and that's why we need to ask ourselves, what am I building? Am I chasing validation? Am I chasing trends? Because that's not what I should be chasing. I'm supposed to be chasing value, chasing impact. That's what we should chase. We need to pursue meaning, not appearance. Another one is develop competence and excellence. Your competence is your power. Study. If you need to study, study to develop your competence and to be excellent at what you do. Study. Practice. Work. Put in the work. I tell some people, I said, I'm a teacher. There are some people I have worked with. I will give them my children to teach and I will go and sleep. I will not even ask my child, what did you learn? I will not ask. Because I know that they would do the right thing. They are excellent at what they do. And there are some people that I will not give the child of my enemy, I will not give them to teach. Not even my own child, now my enemy's child, I will not give them to teach. What separates the group I trust and the group I cannot trust? It's excellence. It's simply excellence. What is driving you? Is it just the pay? Or the fact that you really want to see this thing work? What is driving you? It's excellence. Improve. If you need to read widely. Read. There's a saying that if you want to hide something from an African man, keep it in a book. Highest level of disrespect. Unfortunately, it is true. When you keep it, it will be there. 1 million years, they will not open it. We know they read. We don't read. And the book will be right in front of us. We don't read. So just keep it in a book. That's the highest level of disrespect.
Pure disrespect.
But it's unfortunate that it is true. Read wildly. Read. I was watching a podcast some time ago, and this man, Diolushola, he was talking about the kind of employees that we should be. That you should be a T employee. Not just Not just grounded in what you know. I'm a teacher and the only thing I know is how to teach. You should be a T employee. What else can you do? What else can you do? Not just letter I am just there. When you take me out of teaching, I cannot do anything else. No. No. Be a jack of all trades, but be a master of something. You should be able. Once they take conversation from one thing to another, you should have something at least to say about it. No matter how small, even if you don't know too much, have something to say about every topic. You are not an I2know. That's not being an I2know. No. It shows that you are exposed. You're aware. You are aware. Build competence. Build excellence. Master skills. Invest in it. So people cannot pay 50 kobo to earn a skill. They cannot. But they can spend 1 million on data to doom scroll. They cannot use that same data to learn a skill. Even though these skills are flying online. I tell people, there's nothing you want to learn today that is not online. Nothing. If you need somebody to now put you through, that will just be an extra, maybe to help you understand it better. But you will get the introduction online. You will get the introduction online. It's there. It's there. Because nowadays that we are, even when you now find someone who wants to teach you, they will still direct you to a YouTube channel. They will still direct you to one link online. Go and watch that video, or go and read this article, and then come back to me. But you have your smartphone. So a lot of people carry smartphones, but they are not smart. I'm very sorry about that. Because if all you use your smartphone to do is social media, following people's lives, is there any smartness in that? That phone can change your life. It can change your life. That is why it is smart, so that it can change your life. So if you're carrying a smartphone and you're not different from somebody that is using, we call it pay me pada. Call me back, my hand is paining me. You know those buttons? Because they cannot access the internet. So the access is limited. Your own access to is limited. Now, not because your phone cannot do it, but you have limited yourself. So let's please master a skill, invest in yourself. Even the Bible says, study to show yourself approved, a workman that need not be ashamed, but rightly dividing the word of truth. Study to show yourself approved. So for you to show yourself approved, you have to study. You have to study. Study. It takes a lot. Diligently. Seest thou a man diligent in his business, he will stand before kings and not before mean men. Study. Let's see some people who actually carried substance, people of substance in our generation. One of them was Nelson Mandela. We talk about Nelson Mandela today. Nelson Mandela, Nelson Mandela, Nelson Mandela. But Nelson Mandela was in prison for 27 years. He was not blaming it on anybody. He was not. Instead, he spent those 27 years reflecting. And by the time he came out, he was not bitter. Because if he had been bitter, he wouldn't have come out to become the president. And even if he had become the president, he would not have led his country the way he did. So it shows that he was not bitter. Instead, he spent those 27 years working on making himself better. You see Malala Yousafzai. She wrote the book, I Am Malala. Malala was a young girl that really wanted to study. She really wanted to go to school. But she found herself in an environment where you could not go to school, especially as a girl. It was so bad to the extent that she was shot in the head. Thank God she survived. But she did not let that stop her from speaking out. And because of that, she was able to help a lot of people. Building substance in a noisy world, in a distracted world. Ben Carson. I once spoke about Ben Carson. Ben Carson could have given up. His mom could have given up because of the distractions. It was labeled dumb. But he didn't give up. Instead, he sought ways to make himself better. And the rest is history. We know what he became today and how he's able to help himself and even help the world. We have Wangari Maathai in Kenya, who despite all the criticisms he received, did not let any of them affect him, but still went ahead to plant a lot of trees in Kenya, thereby making the lives of his people better. The people of Japan in the 2011 tsunami, they didn't because of that. It was something they could not control, so they had all the excuses they had that they could give in the world, and it would be genuine. Ironically enough, it would be genuine, but they did not give any excuse. Instead, they worked together as a community and built a better life for themselves. So we can see that we don't even have any excuse, because we've seen people who had excuses not give excuse. How can someone go to prison for 27 years and come out not being bitter? Can you imagine what imagine a child that was given birth to on the day he went to prison? By the time he will come out, that child will be 27 years old. And the child must have achieved some things in his or her life at that time. So it's like his life was put on hold for 27 years, but he was not bitter. He had a genuine excuse, but he did not hold on to that excuse. That was not an excuse that was worth holding on to. But no excuse is worth holding on to. Because the minute you have a reason for not doing something, then you don't move. You don't become better. You don't become better. How do we build relationships with substance? Because now we've talked about how to build substance in ourselves, but then we want to look at how to build substance even with others. How do we build relationships with substance? Because your cycle is your future. So show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. If you make friends with 5 foolish men, you are the 6th foolish man. And if you make friends with 5 wealthy men, you are the 6th wealthy man, even if you don't have a kobo in your account. That's just it. You are the 6th wealthy man. It's not about faking it to make it, no. Because Yorubas will say when a leaf spends too much time with soap, by the time you take it off, it will also start foaming, even though it is not soap. So it will become soap too. That's how it is. Your cycle rubs off on you. The community you move with rubs off on you. And that's why we need to learn how to build relationships with substance. And how do we do that? Number 1, listen more than you speak. We have 2 ears and just 1 mouth, so that we can talk lesser than we listen. Listen more, talk less. But the opposite is the case nowadays. We talk more and we listen less. Some don't even listen at all. They just want to talk. I just want to express my mind. You go explain tire. Listen more than you speak. You see some people, sometimes I go for conferences, and at the end of the conference you'll be like, any question and all that, and you see some people, they just want to show that, yes, I am in this conference today, and then they'll pick the microphone and then they will ask questions, and you are there where you are seated. You're like, they just said this thing, but they just explained this thing. Was this person not listening? Like, and you're just like, oh my God, what's going on here? And then maybe the whoever is called, the convener will be like, okay, we explained earlier that this, they answer that one. Another person, and now until we ask another question, you'll be like, don't these people listen? All these things have been explained before. We listen, we don't judge. We see these things happen. Even in my classroom, some of my students will ask questions before I will even talk. The classmates will be the one that will say, but she just said it now. We listen, we don't judge. Listen more. Because one thing I've come to understand is that when you even listen well and you need to ask questions, you will ask intelligent questions. You will ask intelligent questions when you need to listen, when you need to ask questions, because you will not ask question that has been explained or the answer has been given before. So you're not going to ask a fresh question that has not been touched, and that is why you need to listen more than you speak. And the next one, ask deeper questions. When you listen and you need to now ask questions, you will not ask senseless questions. You will ask deep questions because you have listened. Because you have listened. Ask deeper questions. Another one is be present. Don't just be available. I think I said something like that before. Be present. When we live in an age where people are just there, but they are pressing their phones. Some are there. What did I say last? I said, sorry, I was not listening. But you are there. And that's a question that teachers used to use to catch us a lot. You just say, hey, you. What did I say last? I call that Lagos sense. You said that, and probably the person might even be able to say something you said 15 minutes ago, because that was where you lost them, and that's just it. Be present. There are times when someone walks up to you, wants to rant to you. They don't need you to say anything. They just need you to be there to listen. Possibly when they cry, so they can just cry on your shoulder. Just be there for them. That's all they need. But nowadays we have a lot of available people who are not present. All the involve me. They are just available, but they are not present. And the involve me takes me to the next point. Build friendships around value, not vanity. I've always had this thought since I was little that whenever I'm going to have a friend, it should be a two-way thing. I don't know how I developed that idea anyways. I really do not know. But it's always been an idea in my head over time, and that has been an idea that helped me, that has shaped my making friends. I said it earlier when the other speaker was speaking that I'm an introvert, so I don't know how to make friends. Hello, can we be friends? I don't know how to do it. But despite me not knowing how to make friends, my friends don't make me. I still make my friends, because you'll be the one to come to me, hello, can we be friends? But I'll be the one to decide whether I want to be your friend or not. That was one thing I built early in life, and because of that, I've been able to have friends of substance, not just and worry. These are, here they are. No, Gbogbo everybody. No, I've been able to build friends that I mentioned in one of my speeches. Two of my friends that I can boldly call myself a mathematician today, thanks to them. Thanks to them. Yes, my teacher had an impact, but they also had an impact. I talked about the fact that nobody has my remote control. Thanks to them. Thanks to these people. Somebody saw me, because presently I'm running a free WAEC class for some students. And when I approached the school that I would like to teach your students for free, math and English, and the person said something, said, you are the first math teacher I see that is also good in English. I said, well, this is not the first time I'm hearing this. I said, are you sure you are going to take the math and also English? I said, yes. But then I didn't get here because I am brilliant. No. I remember those days. I remember days when I mentioned that I used to be in art class before I crossed to science. So I remember those days when I was in art. I had a friend, a girl. I don't know who she has in her house. That is always okay. She had one university student in her house that was studying maybe literature or something, and because I loved literature so much, and she also loved literature, so because of that she became my friend. So she will come to me. She will go and make a bet with the guy, that the guy should give her a topic. She will write it, and when she writes it well, he will give her money, and then she will collect the topic and bring it to me. Come and write. And I never liked to write, but she will pester me and pester me and as at that point I did not know I write well. I never knew. You know, there are sometimes you have something in you but you won't know, but some people will see it in you. She saw it in me, so she will come and meet me. She will pester me till I will write. I'll just sit and say, okay, I'll just write 2 paragraphs for you. She'll say write it, because she knew that the secret is don't give her a pen and a paper. The moment she begins to write, she will write well for you. So when I tell her I only write 1 paragraph, she'll say 1 paragraph, no problem, write, because she knows me. 1 paragraph, no way, I will write well. But at that time I did not know. I had not discovered myself. I will collect the paper and I will write. What's this long note called? Higher education notebook. Front, back, front, back. By the time I finish writing, she'll just look at it. 1 paragraph. Thank you. And she will go and give it to the university guy. The guy will mark it. She will collect the money. She will not give me. She will go again, make another bet with him. Give me another one. She will write. But over the years, you know, as she kept coming, I began to discover that, but I really can do this. Oh. And that was how I became a very good writer. I knew that yes, I could write well, but I never knew it. This same girl will come to me again, and I want to part a song. Come and teach me how to part. I said, me, I don't know how to part. She said, just teach me like that, just teach me like that. And I was looking, there was some, you know, it was when I grew up that I discovered that she had eyes to see the things that I could not see. I had things that even me did not know I carried, but she brought it out of me. Do you know that I taught her how to part song? Me, I did not know how to part. You know, they say you cannot give what you don't have. I did not know how I did it because I taught her how to part. But if you tell me to part the sock, I would not part it. So it was in the process of teaching her that I began to teach myself. But one day I sat and I asked myself, how was I able to teach her when I could not do it myself? But she had the eyes to see what I carried and dragged it out of me. That is value. Your relationships should carry value. It's not only involve me. It's not about food. It's not about money. Your relationship should carry value. She was not teaching me to do those things, but she was dragging it out of me. And in turn, as she was dragging it out of me, I was also teaching her. It takes two to tango. If you're only the one pouring into the person and the person is not pouring to you, sorry, that relationship is not for you. It's not for you. It's a two-way street. It's not one way. It's a two-way street. You should pour into the person and the person should pour into you. Now, the pouring might not be commensurate. It might not. You might be pouring, let's say 70%, and the person is pouring 30%. It's fine. As long as the person is pouring into you too, then that's a relationship of substance. Building relationships with substance. Surround yourself with intentional people. Surround yourselves with intentional people. People who are intentional. Intentional about their lives. Intentional about their growth. Intentional about where they are going. Surround yourself with intentional people. People who know what they are doing. Because even if you don't know what you are doing, one day you will know. Because you are around people that know what they are doing. But if you don't know what you are doing and then you are around people that don't know what they are doing, all of you will just be turning on your own. So you have to surround yourself with intentional people. Because remember, a rich man among 6 poor men is also a poor man. So you have to surround yourself with intentional people. Your circle is your future. So you cannot afford not to be intentional about your circle. How do we build substance in children and young people? I'm a teacher, so I'm very passionate about the coming generation. So we've talked about how we can build substance in ourselves, how we can build substance in our relationship, but how do we now build it in the coming generation? Children and younger people. How do we build substance in them? You don't have to say, oh, I'm not a teacher. You don't have to be a teacher. Whether you're a mother, you're a father, you're an aunt, you're an uncle to somebody, you're a sister, a brother to somebody, you're a neighbor to a younger person or to a child. It involves you and it concerns you. So how do we build substance in children and young people? Teach them delayed gratification. In my previous speech, I talked about how nowadays, before a child complains or cries over anything, piam, tablet, phone, gadget here, money. Before they cry, they've gotten what they want. And now they are used to instant gratification. So when they grow and things are not working their way, they don't have the resilience to pull through. Because they have been used to instant gratification. So we need to teach them delayed gratification. People that do 9 to 5. Is it the day you go to work you collect your salary? You wait till 1:10 now before you collect your money. That's delayed gratification. Even people that do businesses that get money as they go. Is it every time that business always comes. So they need to understand that in life, things will not just always drop. That's why you see people, young people today, any small thing, urgent 2K. As they are calling this one, please now, can I see 2K from you? They are calling that one. They are calling this one. They are calling that one. You see somebody that you've not seen for too long, and the first thing you ask the person is, make I send my answer. Should I send my account number? Anything for your, anything for the boys, you know. And our generation has now become a beggar generation. Everybody is begging, stylishly begging. We have to teach them delayed gratification. We have to teach them silence and reflection. I cannot overemphasize this. I've already talked about the importance of reflection, even to us. So we need to also let them understand the importance of reflection. Yes, children love to jump up and down a lot, yes, but at particular times of the day, let them sit down and be quiet. They don't necessarily have to sleep. Let them reflect. At that point, you will see some children, they will pick things and begin to draw. And that's when you will know, so this child has amazing art skills. Teach them silence and reflection. Let's build reading skills in them. Let them read. Let them read. Nowadays, children find it hard to read, because even we adults don't read. Let's build reading skills in them. You could even read together. You could read together. Or build reading skills in them. Let them read. Can start from little picture books to catch their fancy. Comic books. Before then, what books with smaller contents. Then graduate them to novellas. They get to novels, or there are so many books, even life books that children can read. You see books teaching teens about finances, teaching them about life skills and all that. Give them books to read. Help them to become readers. Readers are leaders. Help them to become readers. Build their skills. Skill building is something that they need to be taught. Soft skills, hard skills, build their skill. The speaker that spoke about AI the other time was talking about how his 10-year-old uses AI skills to build his own business. It's a good thing. See China, see how their little children, how they invest in them by giving them skills. You see some little children do some things and you're wondering, oh my God, because even you as an adult cannot even do that thing. Little wonder why China is competing with America now to become the world power. And if America is not careful, China will become the world power, because they are catching them young. It's not just about academics. They are building skills, giving them skills, soft skills, hard skills. Build skills in them. Hard work. That's another thing we need to teach our children. There's some children, they don't even do it. They don't do anything at home. Yes, I understand that you have like 4 house helps in your house. I understand. But that's not an excuse for them not to do anything. Even if it is, go and help them to wash plates. As they are washing, you are rinsing. Or as you're rinsing, you are arranging. Just go. Enter the kitchen, help them. They are washing the car, join them wash. Build skills in them. Remember that those helps that you have today, one day will leave, but your child will remain. I've seen cases where by the time helps go, that's the end. the children are just useless because they've been used to help all their lives. These skills you are building in them, it's not necessary that when they grow up they will use them. That's just it. Because most especially when they grow up, they can outsource it. They too will have ourselves that will do this work. Yes. So I get why you don't see the reason why they should learn these skills. But you need to remember that when you teach a child to wash plates, it is not the plate washing you are teaching the child. There are subtle life skills that you are giving them. That even though they outsource the washing of plates, they will not outsource the life skill that you've given to them. It becomes a part of them already, that they can use, even in business, even in academics, they can use. Gratitude. Gratitude. People are becoming less grateful. You hear things like, is it because I asked you for 2K now you are not behaving like God? Shey because you are giving me you give me 2,000 now, and I'm acting as if. You need to understand that if somebody gives you, even if it is 1,000, it means that they actually woke up one day, took their bath, dressed up, entered transportation or drove down to their office, worked from morning till night solely for you, for that amount that they gave you. And that's why you need to be grateful. Be grateful for whatever you do. Something happened to me last night. I was taking something and I was drinking something, and my son, one of my little son, wanted to drink, and I intentionally gave him some. I intentionally gave him small, and he said, actually, I wanted to see his reaction, but his reaction actually, what he said shocked me. Even though I know I've always trained them to be grateful, but what he said shocked me. As I gave it to him, he said, "Thank you. At least you gave me something." And you know, I turned and I looked at him. I said, "What did you say?" I actually heard him well, but I wanted to hear him say it again. I said, "Thank you. That at least you gave me something." I said, "Wow, I'm highly impressed." Because yes, I know I've built gratitude in you, but with that, and if you see the quantity I gave him something very small because I wanted to hear him say, "Ah, mommy, this is so small now." But instead he said, "Thank you. At least you gave me something." That's gratitude. Our gratitude should not be tied to the quantity of what we receive. When it is big, you say, Baba care. Hey. Our meji feyoko. 2 hours for one person. My hands are up. 2 hours, sir. Well done, sir. Thank you, ma. And then the day they don't give you, you snub them. Or the day they give you little. You look at them. So of all the money you have, it's only 1K you can see to give me. You're not entitled to anything they want that they have. So if they choose to give you, they give you out of the goodness of their heart. So let's learn to be grateful. So we need to teach children and young people gratitude. We need to teach them gratitude. We need to teach them identity beyond social media. There are some people, the moment they speak to them anyhow online, they will break down to the extent that they could even commit suicide. Because all the identity they have is what social media tells them. When people tell them online, you are ugly, you are so this, you are so that, like this, you have destroyed their, in fact, the whole day is ruined for them. But we need to teach them identity beyond social media. They are not what is being said online. They don't have to follow everything they see online. They don't have to live their lives according to what they see online. You don't have to do anything because it is trending. You see young ladies, beautiful ladies, dress up braless because that's the trend. And I'm wondering what's going on. You see, guys, dress up properly, but the next thing, the trouser is down here. They're sagging. Why? Because one big celebrity was sagging, and so that's the trend. Everybody begins to do it. The moment somebody draws tattoo, everybody wants to draw the tattoo. The moment somebody does something like this to his hair, everybody wants to do it. The moment this person does this, everybody wants to do it. And marketers, business people are feeding on that, because once it is trending, something that is supposed to go for, let's say, 2k, 2,000 naira, they can tell you, it's 10k, and everybody will still buy it. It's not a national menace. It's a worldwide menace. It's happening all over the world. It's not just in Nigeria. You see people following a trend or doing something because it is trending. Because it is trending. Help them to understand that their identity goes beyond social media. The social media should not decide how they live their lives. Help them understand that followers are not success. You have 1 million followers does not mean you are 1 million, you have 1 million success, or maybe you are extremely successful. So followers are not success. Attention is not attainment. The fact that your video is trending does not mean you have attained anything. Attention is not attainment, and popularity is not purpose. So the fact that you are popular, the whole world knows you, does not mean you have attained your purpose. That might not be what God has brought you here. That might not be why you are there at that point. So yes, you are popular, but have you attained your purpose? No. So popularity is not purpose. How do we build substance in our career and our business? That's another one that we need to look out. According to Warren Buffett, he said it takes 20 years to build a reputation, but it takes just 5 minutes to destroy it. Imagine something you've been building for 20 years, and then within 5 minutes, reputation in the mud. And that's why we need to learn how to build substance in our career and in our businesses. And one of the ways we can do that is by focusing on value, not hype. It's not about the hype, but what value are you giving? Somebody was saying something about, so people will be online and they are laughing. And they're just laughing, and then maybe there are lots of people on the live, and then they are sending them gifts and all that. They're not giving any value. It's just hype. And one day, those people that are joining the live, they will get tired. They'll move on to other things, and that will be it. But when you're giving value, you're consistently dishing out value, they'll keep coming back. Even when they are busy, they will keep finding their way back to you. And that is why in your business, in your career, you need to build value. Focus on value, not hype. Be consistent. Work consistently. The previous speaker said something, that consistency for one person might be a different one for another person. For you, it could be every day, Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. Monday to Friday. That's your own consistency. For another person, it could be twice a day. For another person, it could be twice a week. For another person, consistency could be once a month. But make sure that whatever consistency is to you, be consistent. Make sure that you are consistent. Work consistently, not emotionally. You don't do it because I feel like doing it today. I don't feel like doing it tomorrow, so I don't do it. Then maybe next year I feel like doing it again, I do it. Then I don't feel like doing it again, I don't do it. No. Whether you feel like it or you don't feel like it, as long as it's something that needs to be done, it has to be done. Be consistent. And as you are consistent, as you're being consistent, document your growth. Document your growth. One of the things documenting your growth will do for you is it will help your reflection. It will help you to know how far you've come, where you are now, how far you still have to go. It will help your gratitude. You will not compare yourself with that of another person. Because you know that whatever it is you are aiming for, yes, some people have it, so it's very easy to compare your life to those people that have it when you don't have it yet. But you will also know that what you have right now is still somebody else's prayer point, and it used to be your own prayer point too at some point. So documenting your growth helps you to know that, oh, I wanted to achieve this before, but I've actually achieved it now. What's the next thing? Sometimes you look at it, oh, in 5 years, this is how much I've been able to achieve. You know, sometimes the brain forgets. You could just be scrolling through your journal and you will see, oh, at this point in my life, I remember when I used to just do this. But now, how time flies. I didn't know how much I have grown. And that's why you need to document your growth. As you build trust. Learn to build trust. Let people find it easy to trust you. Let your yes be your yes. Let your no be your no. If you cannot do that thing, tell them, I'm sorry, I cannot do it. If you can do it, tell them, I will do it. You will get it by this time. One of the madness we have in the society right now are artisans. I don't know which planet they are from. It's like they shipped them from one planet and then they pour them into the planet Earth. Because before you can actually find a trustworthy artisan, I don't know if I'm the only one, you will go a long way. You would have met a lot of people that would have collected your money. Either they don't do your work, or they do your work and they do nonsense. You know, it's so annoying. In my house, if I need to do anything, I have a very good electrician. So if I need to do, even if it is a carpentry work, my son will say, call Mr. Godwin. I said, Mr. Godwin is an electrician. He said, but he's very good at his job. I said, but he cannot do carpentry work. If you need anything, the next thing they will say is, call Mr. Godwin. And that's because they have seen him not just being good at his job, but also delivering at the time he will say he will deliver. So if little children can identify trust, talk more of adults. Build trust. Build trust. Some people are only being trustworthy because you are still dealing with small money. The moment you see big money, the money scares you. Trust flies out of the window. Because you believe that money will not come again. You've forgotten that because that money came, is a symbol to you that more will come. Build trust. Let people trust you. Because when they can trust you with little, they will trust you with bigger ones. Avoid shortcuts. There's some people that all they want is to just want to get it quickly. They cannot wait. No. Instant gratification. I remember there's a friend of mine we used to call Lane when I was in secondary school. Because they'll say, Lane Magba, that is, I'll collect it today. I'll collect it today. If it is too late, I'll wait for it. But I'm collecting it today. I'm not coming tomorrow. So we started calling him Lane. That's the attitude some people put towards work. Lane Magba. I'll collect it today. It has to be today. Shortcuts. And that's why you see artisans or apprentices, they don't want to learn completely. Once they learn one skill like this, piam, they become master. They do freedom for themselves. And then when a bigger task comes that they cannot do, they begin to be dicey. They begin to lie. And they collect money and they begin to hide. They begin to run. You keep calling them, hello, why are you not delivering again? I'm coming, I'll deliver. Shortcuts. Everybody wants the shortcut. They want soft life. But they don't want to work for it. Avoid shortcuts. Be ethical. Have a reputation that speaks for you. Always understand that, or ask yourself, when you're in a room, when your name is being mentioned in a room that you're not, what will be spoken about you? What will be spoken about you? I mentioned earlier that character is what you do, what you know yourself to do. Reputation is what others know you to do. So in as much as you're working on your character, also be mindful of your reputation. Because one day, someday, during matters arising, your name will be mentioned in a room that you are not. What will be said about you? What will be said about you? So you have to be ethical. And we talk about building the inner life, because we cannot be talking about just building substance outwardly alone without actually building it inwardly, because it stems from inside. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So it stems from inside. It stems from inside. So you can't only build substance outwardly. So we look at some of the ways that you can build your inner life. One of them is to strengthen your spiritual life. If you're the type of person that believes in something or believes in God or whatever, you have what you worship, what you believe in. Believe more, keep believing. Strengthen your emotional life, your spiritual life. Strengthen it. If you need to pray, pray more. Believe more. Worship more. If you need to meditate, meditate more. Because these things in turn will build your emotional resilience, which is the next thing you need to do. Build your emotional resilience. Develop a die-hard attitude. A spirit that does not give up, even in the face of adversity. Tell yourself, this too shall pass. Because the ones in the past have passed. So this one too will pass. Build emotional resilience. Another one is to build self-awareness. Be aware. Know who you are. A lot of people don't know who they are. If I say, okay, or if they're being told, who are you? All they know about themselves is the fact that they know their name, they know their gender, they know their age. Maybe they know the school they attend or the school they finish from. Well, they know the work they do. But when you ask them the why behind all this, silence. They don't know. Some don't even know their values. They don't know what they stand for. And that's why they fall for anything. They don't know what they stand for. Some only know that, oh, I don't do this because my mom said I should not do. And that is why it will be very easy to cajole you. But your mom is not here now. She will not know that you are doing it. And they fall. What are your values? What are your principles? Why are these things your values? Why are they your principles? Be self-aware. You want to become a lawyer when you grow up. Why? Is it because you come from a family of lawyers? Or because your mommy said you must become a lawyer? Or because you actually want to be a lawyer? Because you have a reason why you really want to do it. Not because you like the white and black gown. Or you like their wig. You like how beautiful they look. You like how eloquent they speak in court. What is the purpose that you want to achieve, that you want to serve by doing that thing? Self-awareness. And self-awareness will lead you into the next point I want to mention, which is mental clarity. When you are self-aware, you'll be mentally clear. You will have a clarity in your mind. I remember when I was in secondary school, somebody just came to me, you're not even a big girl. I said, I'm not a big girl. Why? I said, because you don't have a boyfriend. I said, I said, what is the definition of big girl? And he was looking at me, he could not answer. I guess he was expecting that I will feel small the moment he says you're not a big girl because I want to be a big girl. So when he could not answer, I said, okay, so your definition of big girl, if I might help you out, since you cannot answer me, is maybe wearing clothes that will open my body, maybe going to club, having boyfriends when I'm still in secondary school. I said, is that your definition of big girl? I said, if that is your definition of big girl, I don't want to be a big girl. Just leave me like I am. I'm a small girl. Leave me. I like it like that. I know since that day, he never spoke to me. In fact, he never spoke to me on that topic again. I saw that I'm not just doing whatever I'm doing at that point because I did not have the opportunity to do otherwise. But I chose to do it. Mental clarity. It stems from self-awareness. You cannot achieve mental clarity if you're not first self-aware. And that's why those 2 points go hand in hand. Because whatever you carry inside will determine how far you go outside. Yorubas will say, Ngote yeba je, lo magbefo. Whatever a bird eats is what the bird will fly with. So what you carry inside will determine how far you go outside. And that's why we need to build the inner life. We need to understand that the world does not need more noise. The world is loud enough. It's noisy enough. So the world does not need more noise. The world needs more thinkers. The world needs more problem solvers. The world needs substance. The world needs innovators. The world needs people with integrity. People with honesty. The world needs us to sit in silence. People can sit in silence without shaking. That's what the world needs. And I want to challenge you today. Instead of reading, instead of just scrolling through, doom scrolling social media, read. I'm not saying don't do social media at all. No, that's not what I'm saying. But 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, just doom scrolling. Those are the time that you can use to build yourself, build your substance. Read a book. Watch, listen to a podcast, watch. If you are the type that you're not you don't really learn via text, maybe you don't like to read, watch. I remember those days when I was still in art class and we'll have to read a book, Macbeth. I watched Macbeth as a movie. Because all these woulda was so tiring for me. So when I heard there was a movie, I went to buy the movie. I watched it as a movie. So by the time I finished watching it as a movie, I now went back to the text. It was easy to read. Sharp, I had finished reading. And that still takes us back to you knowing yourself. We have different types of learners. We have the kinesthetic learner, we have the auditory learner, we have the visual learner. Which type of learner are you? And sometimes you might be the type that you cross at different times. I'm a kinesthetic learner, for example. But there are times when, if I need to learn a particular concept, if I don't watch it, it will not enter. And there are times when I'm watching, but if I don't read it, it will not enter. So know yourself. And there are times when I will watch, I will read, but you see, if I don't do it, I'm just deceiving myself. I once took a training like that, and then I read, I understood everything. Then I saw, then at the end of the training assessment, number one question, I got it wrong. I told myself, I told you were deceiving yourself. I went back to the beginning of the training, picked my pen and paper. I already told you that if you don't write anything, you are just deceiving yourself. I started writing. Know yourself. So instead of doom scrolling, read. There are lots of ebooks. You could put earphones in your ears and you're listening to them. Even on your way, read. Instead of just reacting to everything that happens, everything everyone does, reacting to situations, reflect so you can respond. Reflect, because it's the process of reflecting that will help you to respond adequately to that situation instead of just reacting. A lot of people react. Somebody slaps you, now you slap your own back. Someone does something and then you quickly do your own, and then at the end of the day, later, maybe when you now sit down to think about it, you're not, I was not supposed to do that thing that I did. You now start feeling bad. Or you give somebody a very bad response, and then maybe it's after some weeks or some months or some years, you now read that thing again and say, why would I type something like this? I should not have. So if you had reflected, you would have been able to respond adequately and not react. So remember that instead of reacting, reflect so you can respond. Choose depth over popularity. Everything is not, how many followers do you have? What's the, my son said something, jeep upon jeep. What's your, how much do you worth from head to toe? It's not that. It's not about that. How much is your hair? And you hear some people will say, I can never be caught dead in a Corolla. Which one have you bought? You that you've not even bought a, what's that? That Ijapa? That thought. And I say, I can never be caught dead in a Corolla. And you've not bought anything for yourself. Someone buys you 100 for birthday and you're saying, is it 100 your mates are buying? AO me. Which one has AO you bought for yourself? Depth over popularity. Instead of comparing yourself, grow. You are your own competition, so you need to grow. So Stop comparing yourself. You're not in a competition with anybody. So instead of comparing yourself to, all my mates have bought 10 cars. All my mates have given birth to 20 children. What am I still using my life for? Ask yourself, is this where you were last year? Between last year and this year, what have you achieved? The fact that you're breathing alone could be an achievement, you know. The fact that you're ill and healthy alone could be an achievement. So instead of comparing yourself, grow. Instead of being distracted by the noise we have around us, by the noise we have in the world, because the world is full with noise, choose to live in the present. Don't let anybody push you. Don't let anybody put you under pressure. Don't let anyone put you under pressure. Choose to live in the present. Live in the present. Enjoy. I tell people, I say, so it's a success. It's not a destination, it's a journey. So if you don't intentionally live in the present, you tell yourself, when I start earning 200,000, I will be happy. I will take myself out. I will do this. I will do that. And then you start earning 200k. You now change it to, when I start earning 500k. And then when you begin to earn 500k, you move it to, when I start earning 1 million. And you see that you keep growing, yes, but you're not fulfilled. That's because you're distracting yourself with the noise of the world. You keep comparing yourself. You keep doing this. You keep doing that. Live in the present. Live in the present. If it is biscuit you can afford to give yourself, eat your biscuit with peace of mind. Sit down, eat your biscuit, drink your pure water on it. The person that eats biscuit and pure water will eat shawarma and yogurt one day. They say it's shawarma. We eat shawarma and yogurt one day. But eat. Stop comparing yourself. Live in the presence. You only live once, you know. And it's not just about dying. You can't take yourself back to the age you were 10 years ago, can you? Even the age you were last year, can you? You can't. So enjoy yourself. Enjoy that age, because you can only be that age, that time. Let's assume you are 26 years, 5 months and 2 days. You can only be 26 years, 5 months and 2 days that day. By the time it's the following day, you become 26 years, 5 months and 3 days. Even that day, you can only be 26 years, 5 months, 2 days, and maybe 25 minutes and 20 seconds. That's a particular time. You know, this Guinness World Record timing helps one to kind of reflect. You keep looking at it, days, hours, minutes, seconds. Which means even though we are in day 6, right, or day 7 now, day 7, we're in day 7 now, it's no more 700. There was a time when this timer was showing 000.
Yeah.
And that's how time moves. But because we don't have it in front of us the way we are seeing this one, we think that yesterday is still the same as today. No, it's not. We think morning is still the same thing as now. No, it's not. And that's why you should live in the present and don't be distracted. Instead of just performing, build. A lot of what we do these days, a lot of what we see these days is performance. Nobody is building anything. Even those that are building are very little. One of the things I tell myself is, babe, until you begin to make money in your sleep, you have not started. If I'm sleeping and money is not coming in, I've not started, because the day I'm unable to go out, or when I don't even exist anymore, it's saying that a wise man leaves inheritance to his children. So when I do not exist anymore, something should still be yielding in my name. That is building. You're building something. So it's not just performance. You are here, you are there. No. We need to understand that the future is not for the distracted, it is for the disciplined. It's not for the loud, it's for the wise. It's not for those that chase attention. It is for those that build intention. And that is why in this age of distraction, we need to be a generation that chooses substance over the distraction. As Marcus Aurelius says, he says, the soul becomes dyed by the colors of its thoughts. The soul becomes dyed by the colors of its thoughts. So we need to build our substance, and it begins from inside. Because your thoughts become your action, and your action become who you are. Let's think about this. I'm going to leave you with that, even as I pass on the mic to the next speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma, for that insightful session. I hope we've all been able to learn and pick up valuable knowledge from everything that has been said so far. Alright, so I would like to ask every one of us a question. Do you think food can be stored in banks? Or let me even ask you, what are things that are stored in banks? You know, we have gold, diamond, you even have blood. We have so many types of banks nowadays. Right now I'm asking, do you think food can be stored in a bank? That's where I'm going to. Yeah, because many times when we hear the word bank, what comes to our mind is, oh, a financial institution. But in the truth is, there are many and several